KV Subramanian is joining us, who believes in 8%. But what do I say to Santosh Mehrotra? You know, the UPA tenure was the tenure of jobless growth, and that jobless growth, Santosh Mehrotra on the screen, please defend me from being the only one facing his ire tonight. The jobless growth was admitted by UPA 1. It was because of low infrastructural growth. Somebody keep him on, because I don't even know if he's walked out. Producers, don't do this on me. Yeah, he's waiting to walk out. But UPA admitted jobless growth. Self-employed workforce shrunk. There was a shrinking of the workforce.
Non-farm jobs. 7.5 million new non-farm jobs each year. Each year.
Anyway.
Non-farm, not 80 million jobs in agriculture as was claimed by Clems, as the PM has been claiming. That's the reality. That's what we will just hear from KV, my good friend.
Yeah, we'll hear from KV. Sanjeev, just stay on. Now, the point is, KV put out a tweet, and you weren't very kind on the tweet. No point calling him a good friend now. You just tore apart his tweet a second back. Now you're saying he's a friend.
I haven't even seen his tweet. Forgive me, I haven't even seen his tweet.
I quoted his tweet to you. I said he did the mathematics on how much will be saved, how much will be spent, and has proven through 8 excellent points that we are hitting 8%. And you said, ha ha ha. You had that kind of an approach to it. What do you mean, hoga to dekha jayega? Okay, KV 8% possible. This whole debate is around you. 8% possible or impossible?
Was it possible?
Yeah, be happy, then smile. Smile. Say it's happening.
I'm smiling, Baba.
You're not smiling.
I think it is definitely possible. As I've said, the impact on consumption, I think, will be substantial because the consumption multiplier, the amount that's been given is large. Actually, it's a 1 lakh crore in the pockets of the middle class,
they'll spend it. They'll spend it.
That will be in the.
They'll spend it.
Yes, middle class actually, if you look at the, I've used the data to actually, to back this up. If you look at the savings rate for 2023, it is 18.3%. In other words, for every 100 rupees that is earned, middle class households actually save about 18 rupees and spend the remaining. So of this, about 80% is likely to be spent. And then there is, I've also put another tweet explaining the concept of consumption multiplier, which basically happens from the fact that, I buy from you, Arnab, and therefore you get money, you go and spend it more. And then that, let's say you spend it and the money reaches Sanjeev and so on. So that's how the consumption multiplier works. I think it is important to remember that unlike in the case of infrastructure, where the impact of actually positive impact is felt across years, in a measure like this, where consumption boost will happen only for 1 year. It's a short-term thing. But I think it can possibly help, to spur private capex. If you recall, pre-budget, we were talking about this, the need for private capex to increase. I think, industry has been saying that, there isn't, enough demand. Now this will actually spur demand, and therefore, I really hope that industry actually, stops giving any reasons and comes to the party and does the private capex.
Yeah, and they've got 11.2 lakh capex allocation. Sanjeev, as a political journalist and everyone on, I've been, meaning to ask you this. The only thing that the Modi government was criticized for, even by Sushil, by people who are BJP supporters, is that they've not done enough for the middle class. Am I right?
Absolutely.
That's been the huge issue. You're okay, you're fine, but you've been unkind to those who support you.
That's been one big.
That's been one. Now, does that go away now with this? My question to Sanjeev Srivastava: does that matter get settled and put the BJP also in a very strong political position?
Well, the middle class should be happy with this budget. So no income tax till 12 lakh rupees is, it has surprised everyone. People were expecting maybe the income tax limit will be raised to 10 lakhs from 7 lakhs, but it went up to 12. So that's a very good thing. Number two, very good thing was there was no unpleasant surprise in the budget, no other tax from hidden gains. The only thing which I miss out on is that post 12 lakhs, I was seeing you, Arnab, immediately after the budget when the tax cuts were announced, you were asking what are these slabs about. So that's a little bit of disconcerting thing that if your income is more than 12,80,000, then you suddenly fall in that 20% slab. So if you are getting an income of 13 lakhs, you'll end up paying 20% tax. It would have been much nicer if you had a straight clean slate till 12 lakhs and then you start from base zero. But if wishes were horses. But it's a good budget. There is a lot of emphasis on a number of key sectors, whether it is water, whether it's startups, whether it is infrastructure.
Yeah, carry on, please. Yeah.
So it's a good budget, but there is that something which is missing is, like, if you notice in January alone, the foreign institutional investors have sold upwards of 2 lakh crores in the Indian markets. So what are they seeing which we are not seeing? Why are they selling out? And when Monday comes and next week, we'll have to see what is the global opinion building on this budget. How do they read it? How do they see it? And then we can come to a meaningful discussion on whether we can seriously hit the 8% target in definitely not this year, like Ajay Bagga was saying, in the next 2 years or so. Because even the chief economic advisor of this government is predicting 6.5 to 6.8% growth. So whatever the measures are, by the time they take their effect, if the rate cuts do happen, the RBI does cut rates, which will be a very difficult thing for them to do, considering what the Fed Reserve has done in US and what's the global environment and where the inflation is. But they may go in for a 25 basis points cut, inject more liquidity. But a lot of work, implementation-wise, the intent is there. The fine print, the details are there. But how they are executed, how they are accepted. But one thing, again, I would like to compliment the government on, which the finance minister repeatedly said, that this is a government which keeps its ear to the ground. That's true, because rural consumption was good. But still our economy in the last numbers we got was 5.4% growth, the worst in several quarters. Then the reason was that urban consumption was really lax.